then followed by we can discuss about the what are the course scope we will cover. Yeah, please go ahead, Satish, Achyut, and Hari. Anyone of you have any question? I'll try to answer here. If something is not in the scope, we will try to take in our subsequent classes those questions as well.
Means just I have some question regarding that Azure technologies. Means we have multiple cloud technologies like ADF, means Snowflake and Azure Data and cloud also, right? So Google Cloud, okay. Just my asking question is like, which one is? I mean, what is the future in that exactly?
Yeah, this is a very good question. I'll try to answer. I'll give my honest answer. Okay. See, I'm not biased to Azure here, but let me try to explain you, because we have a lot of clouds are coming out of this AWS, Azure, and GCP predominantly competing each other. AWS side, the infrastructure wise, and it is very pretty matured and it is very well established in most of the customers. But cloud is not only for data, right? We have a lot of things to do with cloud. With respect to data and AI scope, right, which we talk about data lake, data warehouse, reporting. So in this particular space, Azure is giving a very tight competition to anyone. I'm talking about the data and AI scope, where data, artificial intelligence, analytics, right? Where Azure, the integration is very tight when compared to the Azure and AWS and GCP. Take an example of Snowflake. See, Snowflake is a kind of a alternative data warehouse solution. It can sit in any of these three clouds, Azure, AWS, and GCP. GCP is recently came, but there are so much opportunities on Azure with Snowflake than AWS Snowflake, based on my experience. Why? Because natively, there are so many tight integrations in Azure available when compared. There are solutions available in AWS. I'm not saying that, but there are too many tools. There are too many ways we can achieve it. But in Azure, it is very crystal clear, like one or two services will be able to achieve all the capabilities. To answer you, with the data integration, data ingestion, data AI, Microsoft Azure is the best one in the market in that space. Any app services, something applications that I cannot comment on Azure is right or not, but because every cloud, it has own merits. But in this area, it is moving very fast, and most of the projects transactions we are getting in Azure only.
And one more question, like, as a ETL tester, I know that one means previously I did work on end-to-end validation.
MQ.
End-to-end validation.
Okay. Understood. Reconcile end-to-end validation, right? Okay, got it.
So I know that one means like how the data is coming, how it is flowing from source to up to data mart, and how it is working in reports also. I know that one as a ETL tester. But while currently I'm working in Azure Databricks, in that Azure Databricks, I currently am involving in particular part only. I from University Data Lake to Business Data Lake only I'm working. After means before that how the data is coming, and after that how the data is flowing to forward. I don't know that one.
See, Satish, I'll tell you one thing. See, I handle ETL testing big data projects also. I'll tell you one thing. What additionally you will bring that value to the team, right? Team can use any mechanism to make the mapping or to do the transformation. Similarly, you will be doing it with SQL technology. You will be writing source query based upon the mapping document. You will try to compare with the source and target, right? In a way, you are also doing a similar kind of development in a different way. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe developer will achieve in different way. But right now, because of this evolving this Databricks coding things, right? They will also doing these transformations in Spark or SQL or a Python or a Scala only. There is nothing different. Databricks is a kind of environment where they can achieve this all complex transformations because some of the transformations we can achieve in ADF also. And if some customer want to make use of the Databricks power and they want to write in a code way, they can achieve this one. The only difference is that how complex your transformation use case. But for you as a tester, you should also know, right, what logic they're trying to build at a high level. Without mapping document, they will not develop anything. So that mapping document also will come to you, right? Maybe before Databricks, this is the data like in a Excel. So CSV. After Databricks, it could be Parquet, right? So you should know about what kind of transformations they are writing in the Databricks. So in that way, what you can achieve, right? You can also, in my project, what we give for testers also, we will give some environment to them. They can also try this writing this Databricks scripts using based upon their comfortable. Because if a person developer works on Python API, even these people can write in a similar in SQL, right? They can also do this kind of a transformations, and they can derive some data output, and they can compare this output with the developer output. That is one way of validation. I think I prefer that way. But what is the difference between developer and tester here? Because developer is also doing same thing, tester also doing same thing. But developer will only focus about the 1 or 2 records. You will be focused about complete reconciliation. You can understand the complete flow of the end-to-end, right? That is the value you will bring to the table. So for you in that case, you should know how you have developer is writing the transformation. Similarly, you can also write using the Databricks same way. You can take some testing cluster or something. You can also achieve it. You can compare your output with output. Maybe if output is not matching, yours is maybe wrong, or his may be wrong, or total requirement may be wrong actually. But that is the best way to do when we coming to end-to-end testing based upon the projects. So to answer you that, in that case, you should have some SQL understanding, and how to write those SQL in the Databricks, you should get knowledge.
Yes, and means I know the structure of the data warehouse, means ETL testing, means how the data is flowing, means data is coming from sources are coming like files. After them, we're loading data into landing to staging to data mart. Those data mart tables we are using for the report. Right.
Exactly.
So means in the Azure data in the Azure, how the data is flowing here.
Okay. See, same way there. See, cloud Azure cloud is something we have not invented recently. It is just evaluation from the on-premise to the cloud. Same structure will be there. So we have. Let me go back to the slide to explain you. So these are the data sources, right? You are seeing my screen?
Yes, yes.
So these are the data sources. It could be SQL, it could be file, it could be structure, it could be unstructured, it could be semi-structured. Using ADF, we will bring all the data into staging area. Staging is, it's a kind of a container. Data, don't confuse with the Docker. I'm not talking about Docker container here. I'm talking about the storage. Within storage, there is some containers we can create. We can bring all the source data in the staging area. Again, we will do all the transformations using Databricks. We can do based upon what you mentioned. Without this also, all the common transformation we can achieve using ADF itself. Again, we will go back and load it to the data lake itself or data warehouse based upon the requirements. See, that is the flexibility we are bringing in the cloud. In ETL, right? The moment if you do the transformations, you will make load ready file, you will load to data warehouse, right? But here, what we do, right? We will make this data in the file format, in the Parquet format, available for the multiple use cases. Maybe data scientist will go and use it, this Parquet file, or data analyst will use of this Parquet file to do the analysis, or data engineer will use this Parquet file to load it to the fact and dimension table of the data warehouse. So you're seeing the flexible rate, what I mean to say?
Yes, yes, yes.
Because there is multiple ways we can achieve it, this flexible environment. Because with this, right, all behind the scene, everything will save in the files and before loading into the tables.
Okay.
So the data lake, see, there are projects without data warehouse, we are giving reporting on top of the data lake itself. The structure is same. There is nothing is going to change. We will get to that architecture, and we'll one project use case also we will go there. So there is nothing we are missing from on-premise to the cloud. What we are doing and we are adding more capabilities on top of those existing things, and we are improving a lot in the Tangle, evaluating all the clouds. So in the Tangle, Azure is way fast when compared to other clouds in this data space, which I mentioned you, because we have a inbuilt natively tools available where we can orchestrate end-to-end everything. We can achieve it, all the transfer.
Okay.
It's again the project use case, Satish. I cannot say that this is A, B, C we have to do, or X, Y, Z we have to do. It's based upon the customer requirement, customer entities. We are going to create kind of a platform where we can give project view of the how ADF will be work. Irrespective of any of the project architecture, ADF work will remain same. Maybe you can achieve all the transformations using this data flows or what I told, or if some complex transformations, they will be hiring Databricks developers also, where they will be writing notebooks and you are going to integrate in ADF. You can do the transformation. That is only difference. So in a project where we have a couple of ADF experts, couple of Databricks experts, couple of Power BI experts, couple of platform engineers, a couple of solution architects, couple of data leads, combinedly we will operate the project. See, at the beginning of time, every person will not be knowing everything, right? Passage of the time, one person will come and based on that, he will learn new things and he will contribute further. So like that, this knowledge should be gained or enhance it accordingly. We cannot digest everything in one go actually.
Sure. Okay. And one more question, means what is the duration of this course and what type of topics we are covering in that?
Yeah. See, basically, I'm not going in a traditional index like what are topics, everything. I will cover all the major things wherever there is a required for the project. My intention is to cover it in between maximum 4 to 6 weeks of range based upon people availability. I will keep it as a 4 and I will try to make it in a 6 maximum. But we are going to explain only the project in a project angle predominantly, and we will try to cover all the activities. We are not going to miss anything, but we will not go in that flow actually like A, B, C, D. We will try to use that in the actual use case so that it will be more effective. So to tell you, this is not complete, but I created some guidelines here. I don't know whether this will tell you clear view or not. Something called I created, I just in progress, data engineering skills, what we required, overview about the cloud data warehouse, link service, data sets, integration runtime, and copy activities. Similarly, pipelines, how we can move it. I think data flows is not mentioned. It is also great about triggers, how to transform the data, how you load back to the data lake storage, and from there, how you load to the SQL database, and how you monitor your ADF pipelines using Azure Monitor, how you create the best practice for the production pipelines, or what we follow the naming standard. So with this scope of the activities, you will be familiarized complete end-to-end about ADF. So you can go and start doing your work in any of the projects where ADF is being used as an ETL tool, as orchestration tool to do the transformations, or be it ingestion or be it orchestration. So all this will be covered actually. So this main we will try to give some space to, based upon the questions requirements, we will extend to some level and we'll go and explain how the data warehouse and everything. But we are not highlighting that part. We are assuming that we'll go with the focus only with ADF for now, because every topic it has own time will take, right? We cannot cover. There are many skills are available. There are many advanced skills available. But right now in the market, ADF is one of the entry criteria before select your resume or to go for interview. Without ADF, followed by some knowledge of Databricks, you cannot enter into the space. So what my suggestion is that try to focus on ADF part first, then followed by with upskilling into slowly one area. So once you get into the project, you will get into the more use cases, right? You will learn by yourself, or you can expand your knowledge accordingly. Because this is a initial point. This is the first point we need to get into, fundamental thing to get into start. Without ADF in Azure, I think there will not any project they want to do a data project in Azure. Without ADF, I think Synapse is there. Synapse is kind of a evaluation of combining all the data warehouse and integration, presentation, everything in a single view. But behind the scene, everything will be same capability, data factory and data flow only. If you know this ADF, the Synapse pipelines also same only.
Okay. And what type of prior knowledge is required before learning ADF?
See, prior knowledge, I think what I want to make it low and small and to start with. See, some SQL background should work actually. Nothing beyond that required. Some programming would be helpful if you have, when we go into the Databricks. But I'll tell you one thing, people will understand that Databricks means code. What is code? Code is we can written in SQL, we can written in the Python, we can written in SQL. If you don't know Python, you will write in the SQL, right? See, I always recommend at least some kind of knowledge. SQL is always helpful you, not now even further career also. Without SQL, we cannot run our show in data space. Okay. Even Databricks also, if you know the SQL, same thing we can achieve in the Databricks also.
Okay. Yeah.
To start with, it won't require, but passage of the time, I recommend to get some decent knowledge on the SQL to get it to crack the interviews at least.
Yeah, okay. I have that SQL knowledge, but some are people are using Scala, some people are using Python.
See, that's what I'm telling. That's what I'm telling. People are, yes, they're using it. I'm not saying that they're using Databricks, they're using Scala. There are SQL API also is there, right? Why? Because it's no restriction that everyone here to follow SQL. I can write, see in my notebook, I will write wherever I'm comfortable. Two cells I write in PySpark, 2 cells I will move it to SQL. Again, I will come wherever it is the best I will take and go. And you can also write everything in SQL also. No one will stop you. People might ask you whether you have this capability so that their current project, maybe they're writing Python, PySpark, so that they will try to make use of something. But it doesn't stop you to explore Databricks with a SQL, right? SQL is another way to interact. And am I answering your question?
Yes, thanks. Yes.
Yeah. See, basically, whatever you write in the Scala, Python, we can write in SQL. What I mean to say.
Yes, I understand.
Your answer should that person, I am flexible, I am doing my project in a SQL way, but I am comfortable to given the opportunity to explore that also, I can do it. It's not a big deal. Just learning some kind of the same SQL thing only they evaluate in the using some utilities in the Scala and but depends. Some projects they will write everything in notebooks. Some projects they will write in the IDE. That is different. Don't get into too much. My suggestion is that don't get into think about those things. Then you will get more confused and you will be scared actually. Reality is different.
Yeah, okay.
So that's what. Too much if you think that people put in JD, but you can still a lot of questions will go in ADF and Databricks. Some portion of questions definitely give the weightage, but there are projects they will take only with the ADF also. Market is there. Because many projects they're migrating right now into Azure, they need immediately lift the data from on-premise to cloud. How you can achieve it? Not through complete ADF. There are data migration services are there, but still once data migration is complete, you need to do some kind of a shaping or a transformations with basic validation. You have to achieve in ADF only. So your learning should be focused actually. Just don't go by adding words. I know this, I know this. How much you know, that is a capability you have to showcase. Like you start with ADF, my recommendation. Once if you get into the project, you will come to know what they're using in Databricks so that you will automatically know what to learn, where to learn, and everything will come. But first you need to get into that space, right? That's what my recommendation. To get into that is the best thing to start with. What my recommendation personally.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Nowadays, they will maybe these terms are very fancy. ADF, ADB. This is what people are asking. ADLS Gen 2. These three. And within these three also, I recommend go with Databricks. I'm not covering here, but if people are interested, I can give some 1 or 2 sessions where you will can able to, for interview purpose, I can help you. But right, because it has its own scope actually. We cannot combine both the courses actually. Okay. So any other questions? So I think we already on top of the hour actually. I think we crossed it. Yeah. Any other questions? Or else we can.
Nothing. Thanks for that.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, stop. Yeah.
Yeah. RK.
Yes, who is this?
Hello. Achyut, I'm Achyut.
Yeah, Achyut, tell me.
One small question.
Maybe we can stop recording.